Hi, Laurel here with two cards using the same background I created with the Ken Oliver color bursts. I know I've been using them a lot lately, but I just love them. I think they are so cool and so unique. So these are the two cards I'm going to make in this video using the same background. I'm using the same idea as I had with my other video, which I'll link below in the description, but this time I've got some watercolor paper here, but it's dry. There's no water added to it, and I'm just going to kind of spritz on some of these powders. I'm using the purple and the red. I've dubbed these powders the powder with power because a little goes a long way. And these colors are so intense. It's just, I think it's the coolest thing ever. I'm sorry, and I know y'all are sick of hearing me talk about these color bursts, but I like them. So I've gone ahead, you can see all the powder I've added down there, no water whatsoever. And then I've got this Distress sprayer filled with water. And I'm just gonna spritz it on pretty generously, not from too far above. And look how those powders activate with the waters. Holy moly, isn't that neat? And then what I did is I set it aside to dry naturally. You could zap it along with a heat gun if you wanted to speed up time, but I just went ahead and let it dry naturally, and look at that. Look at that look that you get. And I am totally thinking it's the coolest thing ever that there's even a little bit of yellow in there. See that? Isn't that neat? I love these color bursts. And that's it. That's all I did. Took a minute maybe to create a background I'm going to use for both of these cards. Coolest stuff ever, honestly. So I've got two different die cuts I'm going to put down here. I've got the Big Hugs die, and this is a coffee die by Memory Box. And I'm going to run these through my Vagabond. And I kept this in the video, but I made a mistake here. Still haven't figured it out yet. Apparently I hadn't had my coffee yet that morning. So I'm just kind of taking out the little die cuts, and still not dawned on me. And then I'm looking at that coffee mug and I'm like, that hole is not supposed to be there. Whatever. Get some coffee, get some brains, Laurel. So I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine again, but this time I'm going to cut apart the dies like you should have, and that way I'm going to get a cup, and then I'm going to get the coffee sleeve separately. I also ran the coffee sleeve die through a piece of white cardstock as well. I'm telling you what, whatever. Coffee sleeve, coffee koozie, there's a bunch of different names for it. I don't know what the technical one is. I'm going with coffee sleeve. So here's my little coffee die. So I'm going to go ahead and put the coffee cup together. I'm adhering the lid to the coffee flat. And then I thought I would score some lines, which is what I did just a second ago. I scored some line in there just to give it a little bit of texture, if you can see those score lines. And then I'm going to pop that part up with some foam dimension, some double-sided tape there. And now it's time to just pull this card together. This is some DMC floss I got, you know, Michael's, whatever, it's like 99 cents. And I'm going to, I see people do this all the time and I never do, and I think it's so cool. And I'll be honest, it's way cooler on other people's cards than my own. But I wanted some of this thread to pop out from behind my die cut. I don't know, whatever. So I put some double-sided tape on the back of my coffee cup there. And then I'm going to, for 10 minutes, which I'm not going to bore you with on video, I edited that part out. I'm trying to figure out how to put these that's floss on there. So I decided to put the two ends on the sticky tape, and then I'm just gonna push all that thread behind the coffee cup and glue it down. And that double-sided tape is gonna hold that thread in place. This is a stamp set from the Sweet Stamp Shop. It's called Cup of Coffee, and I grabbed the I Love Coffee and the smiley face sentiment. And this is what I'm going to use to create my little sentiment strip here. I'm using the grid lines underneath the, I'm working off of a Tim Holtz craft mat. That's what I always work off of, but I have a, what do you call those things? The name has escaped me, but I have a little mat underneath that with the grid lines. I don't know, I had some coffee this morning apparently. So I went ahead and stamped the I Coffee with the Lawn Fawn Hippo ink, and then I stamped the heart with the Hero Arts shadow ink, and then I went and put that little face in. Isn't it cute? Little smiley face in the heart. So I'm debating how I wanted to put this sentiment down, if I wanted to pop it up or lay it flat. Decided to cut just a diagonal line there at the end of the sentiment strip, and then I'm going to pop that up with some double-sided tape as well. It's one of those cutting mats, by the way, so I can cut on it. I haven't left that. I cannot, my brain, I'm still, while I'm talking about this card, I'm still trying to figure out what you call that thing. So I'm still messing with this thread. I got issues. I don't know. Just leave it alone, Laurel. Just leave the little threads alone. The threads are fine and happy. So anyway, now that I've got that situated, I'm going to take that background panel and see that little mister jar I'm holding. I created the mist with the with the Ken Oliver color bursts as well. You can make mists with it. I've got a little quick technique video showing you how I did that coming real soon. So this is some fun foam. You can get it from the craft store, Amazon, wherever. A little kid's fun foam, and I'm going to pop up my panel there with this fun foam. You can also use double-sided tape. You can do whatever you want. You can lay it flat if you wanted to. So I'm going to adhere the fun foam down to the back of that panel, and then I'm going to put adhesive on the back of that and adhere that down to my card base, and that's card number 1. Woohoo! All right, so now we're going to move on to this other card. I really wanted the die cut pieces we made with the Ken Oliver color bursts to be the star of these cards. And it's not hard to do. These bursts are so unique. I'm telling you, I've never seen anything like it. Look at the cool gradation of colors that you get from, I just think it's cool. So this is some twine. I've got a little piece of washi tape, and I'm going to tape one end down, wrap the rest of it around the top of the card, and then I'll tape the other end down to the back of the card. That's how I kind of secure my washi tape in place. Nobody's ever going to see that because we're going to adhere this down to a card base. So I've got that nice little pop of color with the twine there. Now I'm going in with a glue pen. I had first used my multi-matte medium, which I love, but I found that when the glue or anything wet got onto the side with all the color bursts, it kind of reactivated the color. So I very carefully used a glue pen, making sure not to let any of that, any wetness touch the color of the color bursts, and I was good to go. So again, I'm going to use that same fun foam, just cut it down. I just find this easier to do here. Just cut it down, glue it on the back, and then it's going to pop it all up, and that'll be this card. So easy. So I love these color bursts. You know, I just got them. I just started playing around with them. I don't know all the answers to them. I don't know if they become permanent over time. It's definitely something I'm going to look into, but I love these powders with power. That's what they are. Powders with power. So cool. And there's many different ways to use them. They're hitting the market strong now. People are grabbing them up, and I can't wait to see what other people make with them. So thanks so much for joining me today. All the supplies are listed below in the YouTube description, and I've also got a couple more pictures over on my blog if you want to head over there and check it out. I will also link to the first video I did with the color bursts. If you haven't seen it, I made 3 backgrounds using them when I first got them. And anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.